So, this is me doing a little work before work today. So, I found out that one way I have an auditory processing disorder, and one way to help that out is to somehow practice the ability of bringing like words to your mouth. So that's kind of what this is, right? So I can go back and analyze it and see what I did well, what I didn't. Also, I want to work on public speaking as well. But also another way to do that is to essentially record yourself and read a book out loud. So, and summarize what you've learned, like summarize the knowledge. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm setting a 5-minute timer, and I'm gonna read out loud for 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna try to summarize it the best that I can. Figure out if that is something I can do. Let's see if I found. So, what I'm reading is The Power of Now, A Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment by Eckhart Tolle. Toledo. I don't know. Toledo. Do I need to read the introduction? The origins of this book? I don't really care about the origins of the book. I just need the knowledge, you feel me? Chapter 1. Okay. Chapter 1. You are not your mind. The greatest obstacles to enlightenment. Enlightenment, what is that? A beggar that had been sitting by the side of the road for over 30 years. One day, a stranger walked by. Spare some change, mumbled the beggar, mechanically holding his old baseball cap. I have nothing to give you, said the stranger. Then he asked, what's that you're sitting on? Nothing, he replied. Nothing, replied the beggar. Just an old box. I have been sitting on it for as long as I can remember. Ever looked inside? Asked the stranger. No, said the beggar. What's the point? There's nothing in there. Have a look inside, insisted the stranger. The beggar managed to pry open the lid. With astonishment and disbelief and elation, he saw the box was filled with gold. I am the stranger who has nothing to give you and who is telling you to look inside. Not look inside any box as in the parable, but somewhere even closer, inside yourself. But I am not a beggar, I can hear you say. Those who have not found their true wealth, which is the radiant joy of being and the deep, unshakable peace of that comes with it, are beggars. Even if they have great material wealth, they are looking outside for scraps of pleasure or fulfillment or validation, security or love. While they have a treasure within that not only includes all those things, but indefinitely greater than anything in the world can offer. The word enlightenment conjures up the idea of some superhuman accomplishment, and the ego likes to keep it that way. But it is simply your natural state of felt oneness with being. It is a state of connectedness with something immeasurable and indestructible. Something that almost paradoxically is essentially you, and yet is much greater than you. It is finding your true nature beyond name and form. The inability to feel this connectedness gives rise to the illusion of separation from yourself and from the world around you. You then perceive yourself consciously or unconsciously as an isolated fragment. Fear arises in conflict within and without become the norm. I love the Buddha's simple definition of enlightenment as the end of suffering. There is nothing superhuman in that, is there? Of course, as a definition, it is incomplete. It only tells you what enlightenment is, no suffering, but what's left when there is no suffering. The Buddha is silent on that, and the silence implies that you'll have to find out for yourself. He uses a negative definition so that the mind cannot make it into something it believes in or into superhuman accomplishment, a goal that is impossible for you to attain. Despite the precaution, the majority of Buddhists will believe that enlightenment is for the Buddha, not for them. At least not in their lifetime. You use the word being. Can you explain what you mean by that? Being is the eternal, ever-present. Ooh. Okay. So, we're right here. You know what? Maybe we'll do this thing until we get through the book. That's gonna take a lot of time at 5 minutes. But to sum it up, I guess, is we don't really know what enlightenment means. Let's try to. It's very difficult for me to like process words and think about them at the same time. Like I have to like think about saying them instead of thinking about what the words mean. So it's much easier for me to read and not speak. But that's what we're working on, right? We're trying to figure that out so we can get better at speaking in general and become overall a better human being. Like in that 5 minutes, I probably would have cleared, like this is not a very challenging book at all. So I would have cleared probably a couple pages of this, and speaking out loud, I was only able to get like a page and a half. So I'm excited to see where the progress goes. I know there was a really big challenge for me with the auditory processing disorder just throughout my life, because it's very hard to do things like hear accents. And basically, if you're talking to me, like I have to very much be very focused on you. If there's like a lot of outside noise, I won't be able to like encode what you're saying correctly. So there's also like another problem with that, with producing accents. I remember my ex-girlfriend's favorite game was you had to speak in like British accents, and I can't do that. It caused a lot of problems because like I would just get frustrated and mad, but and severely did not have the emotional ability to elaborate on that. But we're working on it. So, you know, it is what it is. So, we didn't really get far into this book or into the meaning of anything. Just kind of the idea that we've been sitting on this wealth of enlightenment this whole time, and we just have never, we've always been sitting on it. We never chose to open the box. That's what I get from it. Yeah. I guess there's no really real conclusion on that, but until next time.